I just received my Riptide R1 electric skateboard. I'm going to do a quick unboxing. I'm probably going to edit it and speed it up and then do a review. Alright, here goes. Extra bearings, a carabiner, skate key. Okay, I've been riding the new Riptide for about an hour total, and I totally love it. It's really a well thought out design. I'm still a beginner. I was into skateboarding a little bit when I was 10 and 11 years old, and I've hardly skated since then, so all these observations are from a beginner's perspective. What's taking me the most to get used to is braking. I find that the braking is actually more abrupt than I was expecting. It's almost like they're on or they're off. You have to be really gentle with the toggle switch to even get the braking to go in increments. So that's the biggest thing, the biggest learning curve. You know, in beginner mode, there's 3 different modes: beginner, eco mode, and pro mode. And even at the beginner level, I'm gonna honestly say that it's almost too slow. I mean, it's perfect for a beginner, but it only took me about a half hour to kind of outgrow beginner mode. That being said, the next mode up is, I've only done full throttle once, and that was too fast for me. So I think mostly I'll be hanging out in the next mode up, and you just got to get used to being gentle with the switch. Something that I'm pleasantly surprised about is that it actually functions decently as a regular skateboard. Right now I'm just pushing up a hill, actually, and now I'm rolling down a small hill. Okay, it's not great, but I was told that there was resistance from the belts, and of course there is, but it's less than I was expecting. So it does, if you run out of battery, it's entirely possible to push this a little bit. And speaking of battery and distance, I'm at 3 bars, and I've been using this for over an hour total. And now on the Riptide website, it says you get about 7 miles. I'm a very light person, so I am getting much more than that. So if you're a kid who's thinking about getting this, I think you're going to be able to go far more than 7 miles. There's nothing scientific about this, but I can just tell this is just one charge, and I've easily been riding it, 7 miles an hour for over an hour. So I'm going to get, probably 14 miles at the slow speeds. If you're, okay, that's that brake. If at the slow speeds, if you're very light, you can get further than 7 miles per hour. I decided to put my own kind of skid plate on there. It's not at all necessary. The board is totally solid, but I didn't want to scrape it up. So what I did is I bought these, I guess they're called pucks. They would fit in a skateboarding glove. Found them online. They're about 1.5 inches in width, in diameter, and then I got industrial strength Velcro. And as I said, something I decided to do was put these skid plates on. I know it's old school, but I didn't want to scrape up the board, so they're working out really great. Another thing that really takes getting used to is the size of the wheels. I was going on a board with 52 millimeter wheels before, just to brush up a little bit. These are huge compared to that, so you're a little higher up. So it just takes a little getting used to, but not that much. And overall, this board is super easy to control. The Riptide team did a fantastic job in all respects, down to every little detail. This is pretty much my first time riding in traffic. And I feel pretty comfortable. Okay, I'm curious to see how this thing handles this small to medium-sized hill. I'm still just in beginner mode. Let's see. Remember, I'm very light. Let's see. So far, so good. So far, I'm not exactly breaking any speed limits, but I made it to the top. One thing I'm doing which might be improving my battery life is the Riptide electric skateboard has regenerative braking, which my basic understanding is that the more you brake, some of that energy goes back into the battery. So either it recharges the battery or certainly makes it last longer. So some of these hills here, I'm out in Golden Gate Park, I've just gone down them really slowly, braking the whole way, and that might be improving my battery life. Overall, this board is just the perfect size. It's just the perfect fit. Another really cool thing about the Riptide is if the deck is totally powered off, if you just start pushing it, it kicks back on. Alright, so here I am in eco mode. The top speed is, given that I'm a beginner, it feels a little fast for my comfort zone. But beginner mode feels a little slow. So I have a feeling for now I'm just going to be hanging out in the upper range of eco mode. If you're really wanting speed, you're probably going to want the next level up, the elite model. But this one, they say the top speed is 18 miles an hour, and I believe it. That's plenty for me. Now, one thing about the Riptide electric skateboard is that it's belt driven. Here are the belts, if you can see them, which means at a certain point I'm going to have to be changing the belts when they get old and worn or cracked. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. They're going to have an instruction video on the website. But one thing that I decided to do, which I personally believe will extend the life of these belts so I don't have to change them as often, is I'm putting this belt lubricant on. Suspended silicone technology belt lubricant. Now, I just have to say, I'm not a chemist. I'm not a skateboard expert. You know, take this all for what it is, but I did a lot of research. That being said, I did a lot of research on how people maintain their treadmill belts for a workout treadmill, and people swore by this stuff. What it does is it keeps the belt lubricated, obviously, and it decreases friction. So it just runs smoother, even if grit or grime gets in there. And if it runs smoother, then it lasts longer. There's just less friction. So, and I also saw at one point months ago, I saw people mentioning this in a skateboard forum. So again, take this with a grain of salt. I don't need 50 comments saying this is a dumb idea, this is stupid. The one thing though I do know is you want to apply, if you're going to put it on, you want to be really careful. You don't want to get any in the engine or in the motors. You just want to put it on with a Q-tip or something. So I figure it can't hurt. Another good thing about the design of the Riptide are the handles. Not only are they great for carrying it, but they're great for slipping a bike lock in. Obviously, it's not going to protect it from the most determined thief in the world, but it does give you that extra sense of protection. That's about all I can think of to say. I have nothing but praise for this skateboard. In summary, I think this is a really cool board. I'm so glad I got it. Click the link below and pick one up for yourself.